Well, the holiday shopping season kicked into high gear after Thanksgiving with Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales online and at big box retailers. Economists say it's a good idea to shop local, which has a higher return for the local economy. Here to tell us more is Monica Haynes, director of UMD's Bureau of Business and Economic Research. Monica, thank you very much for being with us tonight. Just what does local buying do for this region?
Well, we in the economic impact modeling world think of, often look at a number called a multiplier. So that relates to when a business purchases goods from its suppliers and hires local people, there's a certain amount of money that is recirculated within the local economy. And so one study that we looked at found that retailers and other businesses that are purchasing local products, locally owned businesses and small businesses tend to recirculate like 40-some cents on every dollar that they spend, whereas big box retailers circulate only about 14 cents per every dollar, and online retailers there's almost no local benefit whatsoever. So you can just imagine, if you're a small business, locally owned, you're more likely to buy products from local organizations and people, and hire local.
The money just keeps circulating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a much bigger bang for your buck.
Mm-hmm.
For many businesses, the holiday season is kind of the make or break season for them. Is this year more important maybe than years past because of all of the things that businesses have had to weather in the past couple of years with the pandemic?
Definitely. I mean, they have been put through so much over the past couple of years with, first of all, shutdowns, and then now we're experiencing supply chain issues and a labor shortage. So local businesses have been really struggling. I mean, obviously, many of them are still doing very well, but there's a number of businesses that have had to shut down over the past 2 years. And so I think that this is, definitely a big shopping season.
You mentioned supply issues. So apparently local businesses then were affected by all the ships that got tied up in a variety of ports without the goods being delivered.
Yeah, I mean, small businesses and local businesses do have a disadvantage over these large retailers who can just outbid for products. And so it is more challenging for them to often get supplies that have, limited access or have supply chain issues. And so that's something that, while on one hand you might want to shop online because it's easier and it comes right to your house, but the economic benefits of shopping locally are really powerful. And so there's a lot you can do to kind of help those local retailers who might be having supply chain issues.
Mm-hmm. From an economic standpoint, how concerning is it to you that inflation is hitting people so hard and holiday shopping might not be as brisk as it's been in past years because every dollar is needed to buy the food, buy the gas, pay the heating bill? What could that potentially do to the holiday season and to our local economy?
Well, I think from what I have been seeing in the news and other sources, there really seems to be two kinds of holiday shoppers, because on one hand, higher income people are spending more this year than probably ever before. They're probably spending what they normally would spend on travel and other things. Mm-hmm. So I think there's a big population that has a pretty good disposable income right now, and those higher prices might not really be much of a hindrance. But then there's another group who have really been struggling through the pandemic and are continuing to struggle financially, and those people are really going to have a hard time paying for the higher prices on toys and gifts. And so that's why it's really important to make sure that if you are in the position to be spending more this year, you also want to kind of consider maybe donating to some local organizations that help families in need this year.
Monica, it seems like so many local businesses are looking for employees. You see job opening signs all over the place. What's caused that? What is this?
It's it's many, many things. It's a kind of perfect storm. You know, we had the pandemic pushed a lot of people out of the labor force, especially older workers who were maybe, you know, planning to retire in the next few years, just decided to do that earlier and are not planning to come back. Other people who had childcare issues have, you know, been struggling to find childcare or just can't rely on that stable childcare over time because of the pandemic or other, you know, work-life changes. There's all sorts of things contributing to it, and
It's a problem.
there's not one good solution.
Yeah.
That's definitely a story for another show.
Has the pandemic, did it accelerate the internet economy in some ways to the point where it's really impacting local businesses because so many people couldn't go shopping? They were ordering things, having things come directly to their house, and it's kind of nice to not have to go out. How can the local businesses maybe combat that a little bit?
Yeah, I think I mean, a lot of local businesses have actually really expanded their internet presence during this past couple years for that exact reason. People are they have become used to it now. And even things like curbside shopping, which people thought maybe was going to go away after the pandemic was over, but, you know, consumers have kind of become accustomed to those conveniences. And now, unfortunately, if you are a small business, you still have to consider offering some of those online offerings and curbside and other, you know, personal shopper kind of conveniences that maybe the big box stores can provide. And so it is a challenge for small businesses who maybe, you know, don't have the means to do that, but that's what consumers are looking for.
We recently had Small Business Saturday. Have you heard anything? Did it work?
I don't know the results of that, but you know, it's a nationwide effort, and I have seen anecdotally local businesses saying online that they have had, you know, a really good showing. We've got the Winter Festival this weekend, and other, you know, up the shore there's the other Winter Festival happening, and I know that, you know, this is especially for local artisans. You know, even more so, those purchases are contributing to the local economy because, you know, they're not even purchasing the goods and services, goods from outside of the region. They're being made here in our area, and so that all of those dollars that you're spending are going right to the people that are there selling their products. So it's really impactful.
And how does our region stack up in terms of the local offerings that are available if people want to get out and do some shopping?
I think Duluth has become kind of well known now for having this really strong artisan crafts economy, and you know, it's something that has kind of put us on the map in a lot of ways. I think even nationally, you know, some of the leather goods and different types of products that are so unique to this area are sold all over the country, and it is becoming, I think, a part of the Duluth's identity and economy, which is really exciting.
We've got about 20 seconds. So how strong is the economy here in the Northland right now as this year comes to an end?
It is strong, but has room for improvement, I guess I would say.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Monica, thank you very much for being with us. Monica Haynes, Director of Bureau of Business and Economic Research at UMD. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.